tati dagna ta tatina kat da dhati dagna dhan da tinna dagati tina dati da dati.
The world wants to know what is happening in Ayodhya. How much of the construction work is over? How much of it remains? What all is in store for pilgrims who will come to Ayodhya from all over the world? And to tell you all, we will have with us Mr. Nripendra Misra, virtually from the horse's mouth, who will tell us exactly what has happened and what is going to happen in future. And to hear it from a person who actually matters the most as far as the construction of this temple is concerned, we are privileged to have with us Mr. Nripendra Misra ji. He is the chairman of the Temple Construction Committee and he was also the principal secretary to the Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji before he took on this role. It is indeed an honor and privilege for us to be here and be shown around the place by Shri Misra ji. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
पहुँचे कहाँ हैं construction में अभी तक हम?
Biggest challenge of this place, which we faced, was the foundation. As a result of soil testing, it was evidently clear that we may go for pile foundation, which we did. But after initial testing, the data which came to us of the pile testing, it was very clear that perhaps we have to excavate the entire soil. So you can well imagine this 2 acre of land which we have got, we had to dig out.
How much?
15 meters deep. 15 meters, huh?
15
Don't
meters.
make it's not feet.
It's almost,
yeah, it's a 3-story building.
Yeah.
And the entire soil was taken out. The biggest challenge was then that it had to be done before monsoon. Fortunately, we could do that. If you had visited then, you would have seen that there is a big size well which has been created. We had to fill that with fresh soil, what is called engineered soil.
Okay.
Engineered soil is which makes, after settlement, converts itself into a rock.
Okay.
So the foundation, in order to have a rock foundation, we did the engineered soil, filled it, and that filling required compaction. That filling required testing of each of the how much of strength it has in it. Anyway, we succeeded. As you know, the constructing agency is a well-known agency called Lord Ram and Ayodhya, and our project monitoring is being done by Tata Consultant Engineers. After having done about 15 meters of foundation, the kind of advice that was received to us, we have a committee. The committee has got representatives from 5 IITs. IIT Madras is there, then we have IIT Delhi, then IIT Surat, IIT Kanpur, IIT-like institution in Hyderabad. So all of them joined along with the experts of L&T and TCE, and they decide and make the recommendation on any issue which comes up. पूरे निर्माण में लोहा इस्तेमाल नहीं होगा।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल लोहा नहीं है।
लोहा क्यों नहीं होगा? तो लोहा 2 कारण बताए गए, लेकिन दोनों बताऊंगा। एक तो ये कि लोगों ने कहा एंशिएंट टेम्पल में लोहा नहीं बना, लेकिन सही बात यह है कि लोहा इसलिए एंशिएंट टेम्पल में नहीं था क्योंकि लोहा बना नहीं था तब,
बना नहीं था तब, हाँ।
लोहा की डिस्कवरी नहीं हुई।
बिल्कुल, हाँ जी।
तो अब प्रश्न ये है कि क्या आप सीमेंट नहीं इस्तेमाल करेंगे या कि लोहा नहीं इस्तेमाल करेंगे?
तो करेंगे कैसे?
तो ये हुआ कि लोहा नहीं होगा, तो वी आर कंस्ट्रक्टिंग दिस टेम्पल विदाउट लोहा। So after the pile, the issue was that what should be the material used for raft foundation, because after the foundation the raft came up.
This is the raft.
Yeah, you are standing, this is the raft. There is always an opinion that the temple must not be less than, construction should be such, it should not be less than 1,000 years life. So the whole challenge was you must have specifications which will have 1,000 years. After that, the plinth structure came, and which is at this point, so that will answer your question, where are you in terms of the
Right.
temple construction. This now is 5.5 meter. तो ये किसका बने? तो ये हुआ कि साहब सबसे मजबूत पत्थर क्या होता है? तो ये तय हुआ कि ग्रेनाइट
सबसे मजबूत पत्थर
का सबसे मजबूत पत्थर। तो ग्रेनाइट के पत्थर के लिए फिर हमको साउथ इंडिया से ग्रेनाइट लाना पड़ रहा है।
हाँ, कर्नाटका से आ रहा है।
तो कर्नाटका से इस समय और 17,000 स्लैब हमको मंगाने हैं। उसके लिए ट्रक उतने नहीं मिल रहे थे,
ट्रेन में आने होंगे।
तो फिर हमको कंटेनर कारपोरेशन से व्यवस्था करनी पड़ी, एंड दे वर वेरी काइंड, दे वर वेरी वेरी। Green channel was given to us, so it could be delivered from south to Kanpur in 3 days, and from Kanpur it came by their trailer and got delivered.
Yeah, these here,
so
I
all
can see
this
them.
that you see is the granite that we have got. जब ये आ गया तो फिर समस्या हुई कि इसमें जो अरेंजमेंट्स करने होते हैं, जिसकी जो ड्राइंग और डिज़ाइन है, वो इस प्रकार से इसमें होल्स बनाने होते हैं जो आपको दिख रहे हैं कि ये होल्स इस प्रकार हो कि वाइल दे विल फिक्स टू ईच अदर, एट द सेम टाइम इसमें इनफ रेजिलियंस होना चाहिए, ये जो है। तो इसके लिए रेजिलियंस के लिए एक साइज के होल बनाने थे, क्योंकि अर्थक्वेक आ जाए तो क्या होगा, 500 साल में अर्थक्वेक आए। तो वी हैव इवन एस्टिमेटेड कि यहाँ पर 500 साल में अर्थक्वेक के क्या रिकॉर्ड्स हैं। तो उस हिसाब से उनके रिकमेंडेशन पे, और कौन कर रहा है ये रिकमेंडेशन, इसके लिए हम लोगों ने 2 इंस्टीट्यूट चुने। एक तो सेंट्रल बिल्डिंग रिसर्च इंस्टीट्यूट रुड़की, जो सेंट्रल हमारी एजेंसी है, और एक जियो फिजिकल स्टडी गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया की नेशनल रिसर्च लैब है जो हैदराबाद में, जो इसके पूरे स्टडी को करते हैं। उनकी राय से फिर ये हम लोगों ने बनाया।
So when you say it can withstand an earthquake, do they say to what Richter scale can it take?
They have studied all the records from Nepal to another about 500 kilometers from here, and whatever has been the maximum and the minimum,
उसका
it can take care of not only that, let us say it is double of the Richter scale on which the
anything has happened historically.
Yeah,
it can withstand.
It can withstand.
So it's indestructible in a way.
We would like to think that. Let me tell you that. This kind of a thing, you have to put 7 layers.
7 layers, yes. So So up to third layer we have reached
हाँ,
that.
तो
we
जी
see
हाँ, वहाँ जहाँ जो
झंडे के पास
झंडा है
भगवान राम जी के,
वो
हाँ।
भगवान जी के जन्म स्थान का है। वहीं पर जो है वो प्रधानमंत्री जी ने पूजा की
थी, राइट राइट।
तो वहाँ पर जो है हमने 3 लेयर डाला है, हमको वो 7 लेयर तक ले जाना है। और 7 लेयर जब डल जाएगा तब जाकर के उसके ऊपर फिर बंसी पहाड़ राजस्थान का स्टोन है, वो उस पर स्ट्रक्चर आएगा जिसको आप कहते हैं गर्भगृह बनना शुरू होगा।
ओके ओके ओके।
वही हम लोगों ने आप सभी के साथ शेयर किया है न्यूज़ और अपने श्रद्धालु डिवोटीज के साथ कि हम कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि 2023 दिसंबर में गर्भगृह बन जाए और यदि हमारे भगवान वहाँ से ट्रांसफर होकर के यहाँ आ जाए,
people can file across,
हाँ, और प्राण प्रतिष्ठा हो जाए तो लोग फिर दूर से दर्शन कर सकेंगे। So our best attempt is that by December 2023 we may be able to complete the ground floor
of the
Garbhagriha. Of course, it has to be, there are 5 मंडप हैं उसमें, which then goes up to the east. तो वो 5 मंडप ग्राउंड फ्लोर पे बने, फिर उसके ऊपर फर्स्ट फ्लोर बने और फिर सेकंड फ्लोर बने जिसके 3 मंडप और 2 मंडप होंगे। तो उन सब को मिला करके मेन टेम्पल का कंस्ट्रक्शन होगा।
You just have 1.5 years before that.
Yes. So now you can imagine what kind of work is left. I can perhaps predict, it is not good to commit, but I would predict that by end of 2024, all the floors may be complete. The inner carvings would still be done because, you know, iconography will continue. But we have another challenge, 67 acres of land
around
outside, which is called the complex, the temple complex. There we have temple of Valmiki ji. We are planning to have a temple of Nishad. ऐसे ही एक सबरी का, कि सबरी माता का एक मंदिर बनना है जो उन्होंने फल खिलाया। The idea is we must have the temples which will make all communities, people of all faiths, to believe that this is our Bhagwan and he has not been hijacked by any particular community. The entrance on the east, the Dwar will be Gopuram style, which represents the temples of south. So we want to capture that in order to have
How interesting.
the features.
When you talk about 1,000-year life of a temple, what kind of engineering is there that it will last 1,000 years? There is no steel. How does it work? How do you put things together?
Each material which is being used, each design and drawing which is being done, and that's being done IIT Chennai, Madras I said, they are the initiators. Then that is tested by L&T and TCE. And finally, we have given the stability test for this agenda of 1,000 years to Central Building Research Institute, who have tested the entire thing in every load which will come on the building.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Every load has been computerized, simulation exercise has been done. How much of load will come on the plinth? So the bearing capacity of the plinth is being tested. How much then will get passed on to raft, that is being tested, and how much finally goes to the foundation. So each level, the load factor, the stability, the seismic influences of earthquake, etc.
Everything is factored in.
Everything is tested by Central Building Research Institute, who have now submitted a full report of their work from foundation to plinth,
So far, yes.
and given all the calculations that what kind of assumptions they have made. They have even explained why 500 years of seismic changes. Why not more, why not less? Why be impractical? What do you mean by 500 years? That reasoning has been given by Central Building that it's the international standard for such buildings. So finally has been done. So to your question, the short answer is that we are dependent on the best brain of this country in the field of engineering, in the field of civil engineering. And they all have sort of joined together
To work on
to
this. Yeah.
work on it and to pursue only one objective: how to make this temple durable for 1,000 years and unique. That is what we are trying.
Fantastic. पुराना जो हमारा होता था ना, वहाँ पे वो कसौटी स्टोन पिलर्स वगैरह थे, वहाँ पे ये किनकी इमेजेस थी, जय विजय की, उनका कहीं पे यूज़ हो रहा है यहाँ पे फिर से?
देखिए, बहुत जो स्टोन बने, जो कार्व हुए, जो वर्कशॉप में थे, वो सभी यहाँ आ गए।
हाँ जी।
और उनको फिर ट्रीटमेंट करके उनका वेरिफिकेशन हुआ, और सारे स्टोन, सभी प्रकार के स्टोन का हम टेस्ट कराते हैं। एक नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट है रॉक का, जो गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया का है, NIRM, जो कि कर्नाटक में है। उनको हमने कॉन्ट्रैक्ट दिया है। आज भी उनके जो आए हुए हैं प्रिंसिपल साइंटिस्ट, जो एक एक स्टोन को टेस्ट करते हैं।
देन द स्टैम्प इट, आई हैव नोटिस्ड।
एक विजुअल टेस्ट भी करते हैं, फिर उसके बाद फिजिकल टेस्ट करते हैं, जिसमें साउंड होता है, ये वाटर को देखते हैं कि कोई सीपेज तो नहीं है। उसके बाद लैब में ले जाते हैं इसके टुकड़े, और वहाँ टेस्ट करते हैं। फिर वो सर्टिफाई करते हैं फिट फॉर यूज, एंड दैट इज हाउ वी इंश्योर दैट वी आर यूजिंग द राइट मटेरियल।
What are the challenges other than, I remember it was raining for such a long time, and then of course, anything else which is anecdotal, which you will think, chalo isse bhi nikal gaye aage.
I will tell you about the challenges because it is very fresh in my mind. I just showed you the holes which are there in the granite plinth foundation. Then a view emerged that whatever you will do, the kind of copper connections that you provide for, there will be still some space in the hole, which is not symmetrical. So can you leave this hole? So one viewpoint was, yes, we should leave this hole. It will do no damage, and since external material will not be accepted by this,
It might
so
cause
the
harm.
plinth, therefore, we must not put, because whatever you do, it will be taken, it will go out in about 1 year, 5 years, 10 years.
Whenever.
But there could be challenges, there could be growth, water may get in, there may be fungus growth, things like that. So finally we referred the matter to the topmost group of IIT experts. So all of them joined hands. And they recommended, no, we are of the view that we will not leave it open, and we are going to fill it with a special mortar, which will then ensure that it remains stuck and there is no space
Between. Okay.
Yeah, while it will have enough resilience for any shake which may come. So one such issue of whether they put, and that also in the horizontal holes and vertical holes. So one such issue finally got decided: what material will be used, how much will be used, and in what manner, because what is called SOP. What system of filling, the engineering procedure which will take place, because you have to put a pressure, create a pressure so that it goes inside the slurry. So that was decided. I have to tell you, it comes every week. And every week, fortunately, we have today the technology, we meet virtual, we meet one-to-one basis and pose the problem to our engineers. They are extremely receptive.
And they understand the urgency.
Yes, they understand, and they have been able to provide solution to all the questions. And these questions not only get raised by the members of the trust, a very, very important seer. He wrote a letter that he has come to know that Garbhagriha, it will be covered by some kind of a roof. And his objection was that in such a construction, if the devotees come on the first floor, their feet will come on the top of the deity. How can you do that? So we had to go to him, we had to explain to him, we showed the design and drawing, and then he was convinced,
that
because he was told that there is only Ram Darbar. No one can visit that part. You know, these are sentimental issues also which come up. And we respect that. And I have no doubts that till now things are going as per plan. I would say this is the best engineering delivery that I could see.
Coming to the design of the temple, so what is the style that was picked? वो तो VHP ने एक बार पहले किया था कुछ. उसके बाद what is this Nagada style that people talked about?
You see, this temple, the architect is one Mr. Sompura. This family has built temples only, and this was signed in 1992. The architect was given this job in 1992. So he, out of all the temples, he decided that this temple should be made what is called the Nagar style of temple culture. I suppose the technical features combined with religious sentiments, they were in many ways audited by the engineers who recommended that this architectural design is perhaps one of the most suitable design and will be compatible with the target of 1000 years. And the saints, religious leaders, they also approved that this seems to be in keeping with the tradition of Raghuvansh.
जब ये बन जाएगा मंदिर, कुछ है जैसे, बिकॉज दिस इज ईस्ट फेसिंग, सनराइज होगा, सनराइज के साथ कुछ जुड़ा है कि किस तरह से कब आएगा, कैसा होगा. यू नो, फॉर एग्जांपल अगर आप अंकोर वाट जाइए तो दुनिया इकट्ठी होती है वहाँ सनराइज देखने के लिए.
देखिए, डेली बेसिस पे तो ऐसा नहीं है. सनराइज है, सही है,
कुछ भी
लोग दर्शन करेंगे, सही है. लेकिन भगवान राम का जन्म रामनवमी के दिन हुआ था, और ये विश्वास है कि वो 12 नून पे हुआ था.
ओके ओके.
तो हमारी कोशिश ये है कि हम सूर्य की किरणें
12 बजे
इस प्रकार 12 बजे 5 या 10 मिनट के लिए लाएंगे, जो कि टेक्निकल प्रोसेस से वो रिफ्लेक्ट होकर के भगवान के माथे पर जाएगा.
उसका स्टिमुलेशन वगैरह हुई है?
जी हाँ, वो काम हम लोगों ने जो सेंट्रल साइंटिफिक रिसर्च इंस्टीट्यूट है उनको दिया है. उनकी कोशिश ये है कि इस प्रकार से वो कंप्यूटराइज करें कि 19 साल का जो समय में परिवर्तन होता है 12 बजने में,
हाँ।
वो 19 साल तक का बिना किसी एडजस्टमेंट के
वो हो जाए,
वो यहाँ पर हो।
अच्छा।
और जाहिर है बहुत बड़ा ये निर्णय है और इसके बड़े पोटेंशियल हैं। सबसे खतरनाक पोटेंशियल है कि सब लोग 12 बजे यहाँ आ जाएं।
आई नो।
अब आप ये सोचिए कि अगर यहाँ 75,000 1 लाख लोग हो जाएं तो मैनेज ही नहीं हो सकता। तो यह कोशिश की जा रही है कि स्टैम्पीड ना हो,
स्टैगर कर रहे हैं उसको।
तो उसको हम बाहर पूरे अयोध्या में 100 स्क्रीन लगाएंगे। 100 स्क्रीन से हम उसके जो भगवान की किरण, सूर्य की किरण जाएगी,
वो दिखे लोगों को,
वो लोगों को दिखे। इस प्रकार से जो उनकी आने की एक उत्सुकता है वो कम हो सके और यहाँ एक कंट्रोल्ड क्राउड ही आ पाए।
सो दिस रिमाइंड्स मी, मैंने कहीं पढ़ा था कि देयर वर सम एक्सपेक्टेशंस कि यू आर इवन एक्सपेक्टिंग अप टू 2 लाख पीपल साइमल्टेनियसली। कहाँ मैंने देखा था?
पीक डेज पे पिलग्रिम फैसिलिटेशन जो है वो 12 घंटे, अगर हम मंदिर को खोलें या 14 घंटे खोलें तो हमने 2.5 लाख से 5 लाख पीक डेज पे रखा है कि लोग आएंगे दर्शन करने, जो रफली हर व्यक्ति को 7 सेकंड देता है। भगवान तक आने, उनका दर्शन करने और जाने,
बाहर निकलना।
तो आप सोच सकते हैं कि वो डिसअपॉइंटमेंट तो होगा उसको। इतना इंतज़ार करके आए, 7 सेकंड यहाँ करे और फिर हम कहें। तो हम और प्रकार की तो व्यवस्था कर रहे हैं कि उसको दर्शन होता रहे, लेकिन ये एक फिजिकल लिमिटेशन है। अभी जो रामनवमी बीती है उसमें 1,27,000
इसमें आए
लोगों ने इस भगवान राम के जो मंदिर है, जो एक तरीके से आप कहें तो मेक शिफ्ट अरेंजमेंट है, वहाँ पर दर्शन किए।
Now coming out of the temple into the city, which will be host to so many people from all over the country and the world. What is there which will happen in the city to take care of all the pilgrims and visitors?
ये एक बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज है। ये जिम्मेदारी तो उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार की है। मैं कह सकता हूँ कि इतना सहयोग संभवतः किसी भी राज्य सरकार का नहीं मिल सकता था जो उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार से मिला। उन्होंने आश्वासन दिया है कि इस कार्य के लिए और इस शहर को इंटरनेशनल सिटी बनाने के लिए, क्योंकि उन्हें एहसास है कि विदेश के लोग आएंगे, बाहर के लोग आएंगे, तो उसके लिए सुविधाएं होनी चाहिए। आज यहाँ पर आप आए हैं तो संभवतः 2 या 3 होटल से ज़्यादा बड़े होटल नहीं हैं। आपको भी हो सकता है कठिनाई हुई है, टैक्सी की सुविधा कम है। यह सब आने वाले 2 वर्ष में हमको डेवलप अवश्य करना है।
हो जाएगा इतनी जल्दी डेवलप?
At the official level, the Chief Secretary and Additional Chief Secretary, they come here. Additional Chief Secretary is member of the trust. They come here and monitor both the development here and the development outside, particularly the roads, the bus station, the car parking, the facility for tourists. All these things are being looked
And
after.
they have the budget for all these external developments?
Well, we have the promise of the Chief Minister that for the development of this city, budget will not be a constraint. कदाचित आपको बताया गया होगा कि यहाँ पर एक स्मार्ट सिटी बनाया जा रहा है। स्मार्ट सिटी में संभवतः 1000 से 1200 एकड़ जमीन लिया जाएगा और उसमें इस प्रकार से जमीन का आवंटन होगा कि जो भी स्टेट्स चाहेंगी उनका वहाँ पर गेस्ट हाउस बनेगा। यदि कोई विदेशी सरकार, जैसे बहुत से लोग विश्वास रखते हैं,
हाँ बिल्कुल,
कि वो यहाँ पर एक गेस्ट हाउस बनाना चाहें, हो सकता है, मैं नाम लेना उचित नहीं है, लेकिन अगर लूँ, हमारा मित्र देश है नेपाल, उनके लोग हो सकता है यहाँ पर जो है
मॉरिशस चाह सकता
हाँ
है,
मॉरिशस है, निर्माण कराना चाहें एक गेस्ट हाउस अपने लोगों के लिए,
तो they can make
तो
it.
इस प्रकार की व्यवस्था वहाँ पर की जा रही। बट वो तो एक मैंने एक थोड़ा सा उल्लेख किया, वहाँ पर उन्होंने हर प्रकार की सुविधाएं, जिसमें ऑडिटोरियम होगा, जिसमें हॉस्पिटल होगा, पूरे शहर में बनना पड़ेगा।
बिल्कुल।
ये 1200 एकड़ से पर्याप्त नहीं होएगा। तो वो तो एक स्मार्ट सिटी होगा और कदाचित एक बात ये कही जा सकती है थोड़ा इलिटिस्ट होगा, लेकिन जब तक हम हर सार्वजनिक व्यक्ति जो यहाँ नागरिक है उसके सुविधाओं का ख्याल नहीं करते, तब तक हम अपेक्षा नहीं हमारी पूर्ति होगी। तो वी आर वेरी कॉन्शियस एंड आई हैव टू गिव क्रेडिट to both the chief secretary, of course the chief minister, who is the big boss, and he visits almost, you must have seen in the paper, every month.
Yeah, he does.
And he personally visits this area and he wants to know the progress.
What are your personal feelings at being involved with a project of this nature? And one is not just involvement, you are completely into it, you are the chairman of the construction committee. Any personal anecdote and just the feeling of being involved with a project of this grandeur?
You see, I left the Prime Minister's office in 2019 and last quarter. And after that I had thought that I'll be doing, of course, I'll remain active, but I wasn't aware that such responsibilities will come my way. So after about 2 months, I got the message that the government plans to appoint me the chairman of the Sangrahalaya Nehru Memorial, where their plan is to build the Pradhan Mantri Sangrahalaya.
Which started on the 14th.
That got completed on 14th and Prime Minister inaugurated that. To my great surprise, there was a judgment of the Honorable Supreme Court which resolved this issue, a dispute of 500 years or more. That decision of Honorable Supreme Court says that there will be a chairman of construction committee which will be then also represent in the trust itself. So I would say it's a divine blessing. I definitely say, because I have faith. So I think it's a responsibility to best of my ability I would like to fulfill, and I no doubt, I keep thinking that if the God has picked me up, He will definitely ensure that I cross the river.
No, he surely will.
Yeah.
And it is an absolute honor, as I said, and a privilege to have you show us around. We couldn't have found a better person to tell us, and our channel is extremely grateful. Really,
Thank you.
Grateful.
You are
Thank
extremely
so much.
kind.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.